Hotels, resorts, and the leading hospitality groups that own them know what customers want when they travel: luxury, comfort, and unique experiences. This business sector also has to contend with the fact that it produces around 1% of global carbon emissions. The good news is that sustainability and social responsibility are fast becoming a prime concern for this sector, and many hospitality groups are actively working to reduce their consumption of energy, water, and consumable goods. In this episode, we'll explore how hospitality groups are rising to the challenge of customers demanding a more sustainable and healthy experience when traveling. Rick Freduzzi is the executive chairman of the International Well Building Institute and was the founding chair and CEO of the US Green Building Council. These two institutions develop, manage, and administer the two most globally recognized and frequently used rating systems for green, healthy buildings, LEED and WELL. Would you explain how both LEED and WELL cater to the hospitality industry?
I think when you look at the hospitality industry in particular, and they've been devastated by the global shutdown, people not traveling, people not staying in hotels, and many of them have actually begun to reevaluate what their future is going to look like. And we're very excited. We've been working with hospitality industry executives in a way that we never have before. They care very much like people that are working in office buildings about their air quality, their light quality, their acoustics, toxicity. They want to feel healthy so they can enjoy the trip that they're taking. The cleaning protocols are very important. Air quality is the single largest factor in the increased spread of the COVID virus, and apparently the variants that are coming along with it. So these facilities may have, over the last 20 years, decided that investment in the correct type of HEPA filtration for their systems, new air quality systems, electronic monitoring of those systems. Maybe that was something that wasn't in the budget this year. Maybe we can put that off. All of these things are coming together in the health industry. We brought together over 600 of the world's global experts and created a COVID-19 task force. They helped us understand what we could do through real estate interventions and performance to help people make smart decisions. We brought all that up into what we call our Well Health Safety Rating. And it's a symbol not only of something that they have accomplished, but also that people can feel safe going into that place. And I think that's made a very big difference to the hospitality community in particular, because they wanted to open their doors quickly. They wanted to get people back to work. And this is a way that they could get it done, because they want to help people understand they are on top of this issue, that they are doing everything in their power to bring people back to a safe way of traveling and staying. It gives people, I think, a sense of confidence. That's what people need right now. And I think under normal circumstances, that could have been a nice thing to do. Since COVID, that's not the case. People want a visible sign that they have actually complied with a process that gives them the ability to say that we are leaders in this space.
To what degree are those trends being driven by the consumers that stay, travel, or eat with hospitality companies?
I think consumers drive the great majority of this today. It's about having a better experience from a health perspective that gives me the ability to be more effective at the work I'm doing when I'm traveling. And I think people are understanding when they're bringing their children on vacation, they want their children protected in some way. Current pandemic has shown us that besides having enormous impact on how we feel, how we think, how we perform, our buildings can play a really vital role in our survival as a species. The moment represents, I think, a unique opportunity to reconnect with important places and recommit to ensuring that our buildings and communities, our organizations, that we're all safe, healthy, inclusive, and resilient for the future. It's the most important job we have in front of us.
The first hotel to be certified LEED Platinum is in Greensboro, North Carolina. This 5,000 square foot boutique implemented over 70 sustainable practices during construction and has now become a model for green construction. However, the visionary entrepreneur behind it, Dennis Quaintance, isn't sitting on his laurels. He's proactively improving the environment and bringing his entire community along with him.
So we said, okay, we're going to be aggressive with some of these sustainable practices, but we don't trust what anyone else tells us, so we want a third-party certification. We told no one that we were registering there because if we didn't accomplish anything, we didn't want to be embarrassed by it. We had the goal of creating a facility and a work environment and an environment for our guests that would first be comfortable. So I think there's a real opportunity to really progress with these sustainable practices in the built environment. So we are a net 60%, right at 60% building, but we could be much lower than that. I don't think that a hotel will get to net zero.
We see this window front to ceiling, showing us such a beautiful landscape and all this greenery around, as well as all these really airy areas, the lobby. As soon as we enter, all the rooms have really very large windows. We see natural sunlight. All of these are really conducive to really enjoy our relationship to nature. It's a truly beautiful space.
We endeavored to use native plants, and we used a lot of them. We restored over 2 acres of a stream that runs near here, North Buffalo Creek, so that there'd be happy families of turtles and ducks, and there's all that stuff going on down there. And we designed the building in a way sort of selfish from Nancy and I, my wife and I's idea that we really enjoy natural light. So we think if we enjoy it, then other people might too. So even in the restaurant is only 38 feet wide, but it's 175 feet long. So there's a center sort of alley. So the way where you're sitting in that restaurant, you cannot be any further than 16 feet away from these big windows that have gardens just beyond them. And I think that's one of the things about sustainable practices. It has to be sustainable from a business perspective. So people need to be able to respond favorably to it. So I think that it's really easy to design a building that doesn't use much energy and has good indoor air, but you may not like being in it. I always say you can't fake a response. So, what's your response to being in the space? Proportions, materials, and what you see when you look out a window.
Absolutely, and biophilia is really a science, and biophilic design will stay in the built environment for the coming years. What about saving energy?
I think it's silly that we waste energy. I don't know of anyone from any ideological, political perspective that says wasting energy is good. This is becoming more important to consumers, and I think it'll continue. My own opinion is the next decade, we're going to see more progress, particularly in the agricultural areas, around the food that we consume. I see sort of a little bit of a low boil, and I feel real good about that.
Would you please touch on your mission to be of genuine service to our guests, fellow staff, members, owners, and the earth and her people?
Life is short, but life here, hopefully on Earth, is going to last a whole long time. So what's the sort of trajectory of the way we deal with the Earth, the environment of the Earth, physically and socially? Nancy and I decided that we wanted to be practical and idealistic. So we decided we'd be pragmadealists. But the joke is, if you're just practical, you might be okay out in the world and pay your bills, but just kind of boring. It's not very fulfilling. And if you're just idealistic, you're probably broke. So let's do a little bit of both. Let's oscillate between them. So we wanted to be a part of a team that was sort of united in purpose. We love the idea of camaraderie and figuring out how to get things done. And, we say, the idea is love, compassion, and service, but without the patty cake, baker's man stuff that often comes with those sorts of ideas. The way that the world sort of works in the capitalist end of things is we put the shareholders first, and then we put the customers or the staff second. I decided that seemed sort of messed up, that let's figure out how to capitalize the company so that we didn't have the owners coming first, but instead we had our guests coming first. So we even say at a scale of 1 to 10, the guests are a 10 and our colleagues are a 9.9, and the shareholders are an 8. But now we're 100% employee owned, so the shareholders are 9.9. So
I really feel like this is a really forward-thinking concept that you have.
When we talk about sustainability in the physical and social environments, the idea of putting people that may not otherwise be in a position to benefit from the earning power of capital into that position is very powerful. Einstein said that he thought that the strongest force in the universe is compound interest. So if we're able to get this powerful force of the universe working for more of our sisters and brothers and siblings on the earth, then I think that's part of sustainability too.
It definitely sounds like it's a very holistic process, the way you approach it all.
This organization is like a human being. It's an organism, and we make progress and we regress, and we're just all over the place. But what we've learned is that if we remind ourselves that we're considering generations in the future, and we, literally when we have meetings, we'll often look at an empty chair and say, okay, this chair represents someone from 7 generations from now. Let's ask them what they think, and I think we can predict what they think. We're like enthusiastic amateurs. I don't know that we're all that great at it, but I know we're sincere. It's easy to get discouraged. We refer to it as, let's maintain that 8th grade sort of team project enthusiasm.
Oh, I love that.
And if we don't have that, then it's just no fun.
Distinctive details, elegant lines, authentic materials, forgivable fabrics, timeless sophistication. That's the promise Verulan makes to the luxury resorts, boutique hotels, as well as high-end residential clients who commission their goods. Company founders Tom and Sabine Verulan create upholstered furnishings using meticulous craftsmanship and highly sustainable and circular practices, including responsibly sourced lumber, recycled metal coils, and packaging materials, plant-based foam cushions, and more. Let's take a peek inside the showroom and learn more about their approach. Bonjour Sabine, ravie de vous avoir ici. Bonjour Tom.
Bonjour Laurence, enchantée d'être ici.
Merci à vous, on est très content d'être avec vous.
We're from Belgium originally and now live in High Point, North Carolina, where we manufacture all the furniture.
We wanted to make it here, we wanted to employ here, and just create opportunities for people when everything was starting to go overseas. Verulan is pretty much sold through the trade and the retailer. We've worked a little bit with Four Seasons. We just did a recent renovation with Hotel Guanahani in St. Bart's. In Belize, we did Mahogany Bay. We're going to be in one of the famous little anchors in Charleston called the Belmont. So it's really very specialty hotels.
We work with different partners all around the world. We're very well known for linen, and one of the partners is Libico out of Belgium. Linen is a very sustainable plant to grow. It doesn't require a lot of water and no pesticides at all. We just grouped a selection of fabrics, sustainable fabrics, from Spanish mills, Italian mills, Belgians as well. They're made of recycled bottles, mostly, so they are post-consumer materials, all of them, and as well as all the linens who are naturally very eco-friendly.
You started to work with local suppliers with their wood ash and walnut FSC certified. Way ahead of the curve. What drew you towards sustainability early on?
Yeah, so we try to keep it as close to home as we can, again, because of the carbon footprint. Most of the lumber is sourced pretty much from the Midwest. Most of the lumber, which is walnut, ash, and maple, is sourced within probably a 250-mile radius from where the plant is located. We have a few hybrid products, which means stick-built with a few engineered particles to it. And it's actually a far superior product as far as strength is concerned, even to a stick-built frame. So people think that's an oxymoron. It's not. I mean, 5/4, 1.25 inch thick Baltic birch. It's finger joining, it's puzzle joining, it's just as strong as it gets. And again, it's FSC certified lumber, so we're not doing harm to Mother Nature. We have what we call a soy-based foam core. We got an all down and feather fill with down and feather wrap the good old way. And we have a spring down core with a down and feather wrap. So those are 3 options.
And all of those are sourced locally?
Locally, I mean, those are all within less than a mile from our factory.
You say you reconcile with nature whenever you can when making your products. Can you share eco-friendly practices?
One of our Verellen brand values would be, one of them, stay curious. Number 2, be socially responsible. So curious is we're just never sitting on our laurels, right? We can't. We gotta always try to be better tomorrow than we were today. But we're looking at different fill factors because we got a foam shortage that happened last year.
Yes,
with the Texas freeze over. So we're starting to look at cocoa fiber fills. We're looking at plastic bottles that are being repurposed into seating. We're looking at horsehairs again. We're looking at camel hairs. We're looking at all sorts of different products to have a seat that would be as good as a ride as we currently have, but with even a more sustainable factor to it. We hired one engineer specifically to design a line right now that would be using nothing but our scraps. If you look at walnut, for example, walnut is a very gnarly tree, and there's probably any board we use, we get up to 50% yield, which is not good. So that means 50% would go away into the waste bin. So we're looking at making a line of small items, from combs to little coat hangers, anything we can think of. We got friends with barns, all the sawdust is going there. We're trying to pretty much become a zero waste landfill operation because it's just important. We're not there yet, but today we're stronger than we were yesterday, and tomorrow we'll be stronger again. So one of our initiatives is we want to get off the grid as soon as we can. So we're looking at getting solar energy, solar panels. So we want to bank all that energy because Verellen doesn't need all of it, so we can share it with all the employees.
What I love is that you are not only honoring makers, you're helping actually a whole community, to get work and to, really support that through the demand that you create. So that really creates the atmosphere that we feel when we enter your showrooms. We understand it's a whole. You have a holistic approach to what you do. It's such a wonderful approach to your business.
I think it's unique and special, and it's how we are, it's how we live, it's what we want to convey to the outside world.
It's essential that we all make a change, that we all have to do our part.
And American made, I mean, that thing is not a fad anymore. It's an MO. People really care, want to have it made in their backyard. We're creating jobs here, we're paying well. We decided to do that 20 years ago.
As far as being locally made, also training the workforce, we want to put programs into place that will educate, because it's a dying craft for a lot of people, and we have, some of our people are aging out, especially in the frame building. It's the young people are not learning, and so we want to put a program into place within our factory. All these skills that are dying, we want to make sure that they don't die. It's a beautiful craft. It's a beautiful profession. It's a very honorable profession. We want to bring that back to the younger generation and do our part as a company.
And our team is like rock solid, and it's just getting better by the day, and we're having more fun than ever. We got an organic garden, so we feed all the vegetables back to the employees. We got about 60 organic free roaming chickens. We give all the eggs back to the employees. We build trails around the factory, so we got 65 acres there, so people can walk and experience nature and just go relax. You need a moment. Everybody can create a beautiful sofa or a beautiful piece of artwork or a nice piece of lighting, but it's who's behind it. We want sustainable products. We want classy products that are trendy, but are not just for today. It's very important that you create a product that's gonna be not just that fast fashion. We want something that's gonna be around for generations to come. So it's very important that we just make a better product today than we did yesterday and just don't sit still.
When I think of Verellen, certain keywords come to my mind: respect, authenticity, luxury, honoring craftsmanship, but also really sustainability and circularity and innovation, doing for the greater good. More and more, sustainability and circularity are being integrated into hotels, into their architecture, landscapes, and the furnishings they choose. Many hospitality companies are following the proximity hotels example, seeking out LEED and WELL certifications to give consumers peace of mind and prove that their business is accountable to high standards of environmental responsibility, health, and wellness. Not only are architectural plans evolving to meet the future, but hotels are also bringing the outdoors in through biophilia, which helps clean and enrich the air quality and bring people closer to nature. But perhaps the most luxurious aspects of eco-friendly hospitality are the furnishings and indoor air quality. With pioneers such as Verellen working towards zero waste and constantly improving their internal processes, elegance and luxury found a marriage with sustainability. Today, we got a glimpse into the future of hospitality. And I have to say, with so much circularity being adopted, the future looks quite bright to me. Until next time, I am Laurence Carr, designing a more circular future.